Welcome everybody to Embrace Your Feminine Power. It's really exciting to see so many of you here today, live with us. Great to see those of you on video and to feel everyone here. So this is a 1 hour live Zoom call to connect to a taste of your innate power and also to support you in moving towards an optimal state of health and also joy. And Joanne, I think you've been made co-host, if you can welcome anyone in who's arriving, and also welcome to everyone who's also listening to the replay of this afterwards. If you want to just take a moment to enter the space, maybe wiggling your fingers and your toes. Let's have a yawn and stretch together. Nice way to reset the nervous system. So glad that you're all here in this space with us. Thank you for being here. So in a moment, we're going to be entering into a sacred space together. So you can really take a moment to arrive here fully. And it'd be great to hear in the chat where you're calling in from, and also one word of how you're feeling in this moment. And you might want to make sure you've got a journal to hand or some paper. We will do a bit of journaling later, maybe some pens or crayons, and maybe some tea or water. And just a reminder to just turn off all your other devices and maybe close your other browsers so you can really be fully present here. So the session is going to look like the container is going to be opened in a sacred way by Moon in a moment, and then Moon is going to offer a breath practice. Then I'm going to offer a meditation to support you connect to your feminine power. We're going to do a little bit of journaling. We're going to do a bit of discussion around the theme of feminine power and our own journey with feminine power. And then there's going to be some EFT to work through any blocks that are coming up for any of you. And then we're going to talk about our 9-month program that we've got coming up soon, a coaching program for all women who are fully healthy and well, or 75% and above on the healing journey from chronic illness. And that's about stepping more deeply into power and also purpose and pleasure. And it's also the capacity to step into leadership in some way in your life, and possibly the capacity to be certified by us as a Women's Circle facilitator. So as many of you will know, Moon and I have been offering circles for many years to support women on the healing journey from chronic illness and in other ways as well in our lives. So I'm going to hand over to you, Moon, for opening the ceremony.
Okay. Welcome, everyone. It's really beautiful to be here with all of you today. And I think we're going to start with the breath practice and then open the ceremony, just so we can really kind of cleanse the vessel of ourselves and get connected before we call in and open the container of our time together. So I want to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And as always, in anything we offer, it's all an invitation. And so if something doesn't resonate, find your way into something that does. So I invite you to close your eyes and settle back into your body. Really feel your pelvis anchoring into your seat. And feel your legs and your feet beneath you. And on your next exhale, exhale down through your body, down and out through the bottoms of your feet, all the way into Mother Earth. And on your next inhale, drawing up nourishment, chi, and energy from Mother Earth, inhaling that up through the bottoms of your feet, all the way up through your legs and your pelvis and the trunk of your body, caressing all your organs, and coming up and out the crown of your head. And then with your exhale, exhaling down through the crown of your head, pouring all the way down through your entire body and out the bottoms of your feet. And so engaging this breath in whatever rhythm is natural to you, inhaling the nourishment of Mother Earth all the way up through your body and out the crown of your head. And then exhaling and drawing the nourishment from Father Sky all the way down through your entire body and out the bottoms of your feet. And we'll just do a couple more of these breaths on our own, in our own way, in our own time. Inhaling through the bottoms of your feet and exhaling down through the crown of your head. And this practice of earth sky breathing can be done anytime you want to center yourself where you are. And the next time you find yourself in your heart as you're passing through your body, just resting there. And from this place, we'll open our ceremony for today. So we begin by acknowledging our own hearts. Acknowledging whatever called us into this space today. And we let that stream through our hearts into the center. So we imagine ourselves around the entire globe in a circle and streaming from each of our hearts into the central heart of our time together is whatever drew us into this time. And then from here, with our other hand, we place it on the chair or the pillow or the table next to us as a gesture of greeting Mother Earth and the land that we find ourselves on. And so we're all on mute. And so in your own words, just greet the land where you live. Just say hello to the land where you live. And I'm going to say hello to the land where I live. Greetings to the beautiful earth beneath my feet, to the thawing opening ground in the muddy soil, to the lake and the river running near me and the stream running by me. Greetings to the fish that are starting to rise to the surface and to the ducks and the geese that are returning. Greetings to the heron that came back last week. And to the winds that are blowing around me today. And to the clouds in the sky above. And the sun peeking in and out. Greetings to the medicine of this land and to the history of this land. To those who have walked it before me, to those who are walking it now and those who will walk it after me. I call on the power of the love of this land and the love of the land that each of us is on. We ask for your blessings and your power and your medicine to be with us in our ceremony today. We ask for you to nourish the places within us that need nourishment, to strengthen the places within us that need strengthening, to crack open the places that are ready to open and breathe. We ask for tenderness, for the tender places inside each and every one of us. Call upon the healed and ascended ancestors of every woman gathered in this circle now and those who will attend via the recording. I ask you to bless each and every one of us, that we may walk forward with the love and the strength and the wisdom and the knowledge of you who came before us. I call upon the compassion and the love and mercy of the divine and ascended masters, all of those who have committed to help us walk this time. Please be here with us in this place and this time. All of us here are on a journey, and we've come here to receive healing. We've come here to be empowered and to understand our power and our place within the web of life. We've come here to heal that which blocks us from stepping fully into ourselves with our full capacity, our full love, our full joy, our full grace and skillfulness in this time in our lives and in this very day and in this very moment. And we ask for your blessing, Mother Earth, Father Sky, the love that is within and all around. We ask for your blessings that each and every one of us may receive that which we came here for. And may we bring the healing and empowerment of this circle out into our lives. May it be so. Our circle is open. Over to you, Fran, for our first meditation.
Thank you for that. So we can just take a moment to maybe stretch and yawn again, and really take in that beautiful opening by Moon, which I'm very touched by myself. And then we're going to go back into closing our eyes and a meditation to connect to your feminine gifts and power, whatever that means to you. So just closing your eyes again and taking a moment to bring your awareness into your body. Taking a moment to scan your body if there's any areas that need to let go, maybe inviting your shoulders to soften, your jaw to let go, all the little muscles around your eyes to soften, your foreheads to soften. Bring your awareness right down into your heart space, noticing how you are in your heart in this moment. And into your womb space, or the area your womb would be if it's been removed. Noticing how it feels to connect to this powerful area of your female body today. And feeling your legs, your arms, all the way down to your hands and to your feet as well. Taking a moment to fully inhabit your body with consciousness, with presence. Connect to who are you as your most empowered self. Take a moment to connect into a reality of you as your most empowered feminine self, whatever that means to you. How would you feel in your body? What might you see around you? Where are you? Who is around you? Or are you on your own? Are you out in nature? Really going into all the senses of how you feel. How do I feel? It's my most empowered self. What do I see? What do I hear? Are there any tastes or smells that I'm aware of in this vision of myself as my most empowered self? How are you spending your time? What kind of activities are you engaged with as your most empowered self? What kind of work might you be doing in the world, if that feels relevant to you? Or how are you showing up in other areas of your life? Take a moment to fully connect to a version of yourself, your most empowered self, with all of your senses, whatever that means for you. However profoundly simple or profoundly vast that is, showing up as your most empowered self in your life. Take a moment to set the internal intention that this is where I want to go. I want to live my most empowered life. And then scanning your body, see if there's any parts of you that have any fears about this, any doubts, any resistance. See if you can nurture those parts of you, any parts of you that show up. Find out what this part of you might need. Perhaps it needs to hear a new message from your most empowered self. Perhaps this part needs some healing and relief from an old wound, maybe some emotions this part's carrying, maybe some old stories or beliefs it needs to let go of. Welcome whatever shows up into your heart space. Perhaps there's something for you to come back to and do some further inquiry and work around. And for now, just stepping back into your most empowered self. Imagining yourself breathing and standing or moving around in your life as this version of yourself. Reclaiming her, becoming her. Living more and more from her. Slowly starting to come back. Your own time, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe opening your eyes very gently. And just take a moment to journal on your most empowered self. Maybe what she looks like, how she feels. And also to journal on any parts of you that might need some healing or some integration in order to really more deeply step into a more empowered version of yourself. So I'll give you a couple of minutes for journaling. And if any of you want to write in the chat, instead you could share in the chat. We might not have time to read everyone's sharings today, but So if anyone wants to share anything in the chat, it's always nice to hear a little bit about your process or anything that arises in you. And I'll hand over to you, Moon, for the next part.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Frances, for that beautiful meditation. That was really powerful for me personally as well. So yeah, I wanted to kind of open our conversation about power today with just doing some free word association. I've been doing that a lot lately, especially in this season as we've just stepped through the threshold of the equinox, and a lot of my play and explorations have been around shadow and light and balance. And so I'm just going to say a phrase, and I'd love if you could just type in the chat whatever comes, and it could be what it means for you, what you've heard it meant, just really exploring the full depth and breadth, light and shadow of this phrase. So when you hear powerful women, what do you think of? Powerful women. Confident. Empowered self. Whole, healed. Suppressed. Yeah. Authentic. Caring leader. Strong. Self-trusting. Vitality. Role model. Yeah. Open to all parts of themselves. Yes. Successful. Dance with the moon. Yeah. My ancestral strong women. Beautiful. Authentic. True self. Authentic and real. Standing tall. Women who are independent, resilient, self-confident, and self-aware. On purpose. Strong, courageous, radiant. Awesome. Yeah, so really just breathing with all of these words. Vibrant. And I loved how the word like suppressed came in. It's like, because in our time and for a long time on earth, the power of women has been suppressed. Compassionate. So here's another phrase that's very similar, but I'm curious what comes up, if anything different comes up. Women in power. Does anything, what associations come up with that? Yes. I love that. Thank you, Susan. Yes. Challenging. Together. Awesome. Edgy. Not as many as there should be. Woo, this one's flowing fast. I'm going to scroll up to catch them. Empathy. Business suits, dogmatic, silent, repressed. Yeah, Therese, thanks for bringing that in. Should be more. Strength. Masculine. Yeah. Pushback. Peace and empathy. Assertive. Sometimes mimicking men. Yeah, and I think I'm emphasizing the places of like what we see, because it's really interesting. Obviously, I've been thinking a lot about power recently as we've been incubating this 9-month program and preparing for this 1-hour retreat time, healing time with you all today on power. And a lot of the words, as like I filter through, keep coming in these kind of masculine ideas of power. And so I've been like dropping down and down and down, and we're going to be talking about that in a moment, maybe now. Let me just check back towards the schedule. But I wanted to kind of first evoke like what comes up for us when we hear these phrases, and our ideals and our desires and the layers kind of that are pushed over onto that. So and if more come, just keep pouring them into the chat, because Fran and I will read through the chat later, and it's kind of just sending, beacons of inspiration out through our time. So I'll read a couple more, and then Fran's going to talk a little bit about her journey with power. So we had Angela Davis, which is awesome. That's, I think, where I left off. Hold on. Angela Davis and collaborative, admiration, unrelatable, successful, intimidating, necessary, often lacking empathy. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you for pouring this all in. Starhawk. Awesome. Okay, so feel free to keep pouring anything that comes up in the chat. And Fran, do you want to share about your journey with power?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things that always comes with me with my journey with power is that it was a big part of my healing journey from chronic fatigue syndrome in my early 20s, was to discover more of my inner power and to come from quite a, I guess, emotionally suppressed and sort of, in a way, quite fragile sort of state to be more empowered. And part of that was about acknowledging that I did feel angry sometimes, and that I was even holding quite a storehouse of rage in my system. And actually, the more I began to sort of acknowledge that and sort of let some of those waves through me in safe ways, it felt like I reclaimed a part of my power that had been taken away in some way. And part of my journey seemed to be that it wasn't even necessarily all my own stuff that I was carrying around, the pain of women, the pain of children in some way, and the pain of the patriarchy. And for me, yeah, there was a part of it that was about sort of feeling the anger, letting it flow, but ultimately also kind of being able to be soft and vulnerable and connect more to my love and to my heart and to my body and to my womb. So yeah, quite a deep sort of multi-leveled journey. As I also, even though sort of anger feels like there's, like, I suppose there's a different kind of goddesses, like the anger feels like it's like the Kali, the rage, and sort of that level of empowerment. But then there's like softer feminine power, very soft feminine power as well. And I think they both got their place. And I also feel it's very linked to purpose as well, that the more empowered we feel, the more we feel we can step into our purpose, whatever that means for us. And yeah, however sort of big and vast that feels, or however simple and humble that feels, but to feel empowered to live a life that feels purposeful to us in terms of the relationships we choose to be in and the work we choose to do in the world, and how we are in, in our families, all of those different levels of our lives. I also feel a part of it was to really connect the wisdom in my female body, like to really connect and honor my cycle, was a big part of my empowerment journey. And when I come to it, to really honor the menopause as an initiation. So yeah, that's some of my journey. I'll hand over to you, Moon, to share some more.
Okay, thanks, Fran. Yeah, power, it's such a deep word, and it's interesting. One of the things I've been journeying with as we've been preparing for this program, because I don't know about all of you, but I find life for me kind of moves in a spiral. So it's like I come into relationship with something and kind of move through a layer of it, and then kind of keep moving on, and then I come back around to it. And so over the last however many months it's been that we've been preparing this program, I've been journeying again really deeply with power and pleasure and purpose, the themes of our program. And I've been finding these places in me that are like uncomfortable with the word power, that kind of like feels like it almost feels sort of wrong to be talking about, or maybe it's like something I don't really want. And I've been kind of really journeying with that and thinking about that, and thinking about some of the things you all have shared in the chat today, like this image of power and how women in our world that become powerful in like the worldly leadership kind of place, like they become more like men often, and thinking about that, and thinking about my life journey with power. I came into this lifetime, really fiery and strong, and was very kind of idealistic, and had big things to say and big thoughts to think about life. And my illness really eroded my power. My confidence was like totally destroyed in my life and my body and myself and in the world and so on. And my concept of power and personal expression kind of really shifted and changed. And as I come into relationship with it, there's this sense that feels really important to me. And it's interesting because I think it's missing in the world is this relationship. Power is part of relationship, and humility is part of power. So for me, getting comfortable with the word power is it's like taking my place, or for all of us, taking our place in our lives. And that's why, you know, we started this ceremony with breathing and getting in touch with our own bodies. Then we got in touch with the earth, where we are and what's here. And so it's coming into relationship. And when I'm in relationship, the concept of power feels comfortable to me because it's in relationship with myself and with those around me. And the other thing I really have been feeling into a lot is like the power in our tender places. It's like some power to me isn't something, at least not my journey of it, because this isn't how I am in life. It's not something that like I don't think one like comes to and stays there in a static way, you know, especially as women. Even if you're no longer cycling, you know, we're moving with the moon and life is dynamic and changing. So it's like, even this morning I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm facilitating a session on power. And like I came into that place where I felt no power in my being, and where I think left a message for Fran early this morning, and I was like, I don't have any power today. Like it's one of those days where the power is gone. And so the power today was in journeying down into myself to really connect with the places that don't feel power. And I know someone wrote in the chat something to the effect of, it's like connecting with all parts of ourselves. And it's like, that's it. So this morning, in this place of no power, I journeyed in and connected in my body, in my psyche, in my emotions, in my energetics, with a place that felt no power. And I met that place and I connected with that place and went through that place. And it was going through that and into that, you know, that brought me to be able to be here together with you today and not feel a sense of imposter syndrome, which we're going to get to towards the end of our 9-month journey together, is work with those places. And that's something, speaking of powerful, it's so powerful. It's like getting into a room with other women or other people and discussing the places where all of us feel like frauds, you know, the places where we find that. And what I've found, as I imagine you've all found as we journey through life, is like, no matter how accomplished anyone is, they all have those parts. And so for me, power is dancing with my shadow and dancing with my light and being fully who I am and continuing to explore and grow and evolve with all of that. And my joy is like being here with all of you in healing circles and containers like this, and the one-to-one work that I do, and the group work, and in this program and in ceremonies, is supporting each and every one of us to step fully into the places of power inside of us. And in the times when that power looks like breaking open and being in those tender places, and the power to stay in those tender places, and the power to stand strong in the times where we're standing strong, and to say what we see, and to say what we know, and to speak from that place. So I could say a whole lot. That's why we're doing a 9-month journey, but I'm going to leave it here. And I think, let's see where we're going to next, is we want to do some work together as a group on our blocks to power. So I just want to take a moment and read a couple of the chats, and then we're going to do some work together. Oops, it's all floating away from me. Well, I'll come back to, let's see. Sue shared, I think with the women leaders we are now seeing in different countries, how I see powerful women shifting, to where they aren't like men or sacrificing their femininity, power because of their femininity and vulnerability. Yeah. And Susan has shared that in her journey, the power of acceptance and surrender, listening and presence are extremely healing, vital, and relational in many positive ways. And Nicola shares, I love that you share about how sometimes our power feels like it's left us, and meeting that. Okay, thanks, Becky. No problem, it'll be recorded so you can come back to it. Okay, so here's a question for you to ponder, and then to start typing into the chat. And we're going to do some EFT. And I realize, I think most of you have done it before and some of you haven't. So I'll just say really briefly, emotional freedom techniques, which, you know, we will teach more about in the program. But just to say briefly, we're going to tap on different points of the face and the body, which is like a form of kind of acupressure blended with energy psychology. And it's going to open up our subconscious and help the healing flows with the work we're doing here today. And you can kind of follow along and feel free to know you can't do it wrong. So when you think about your personal power, what blocks do you feel? You can write those down and type them into the chat. And what hesitations and fears come up for you when you think of stepping into your personal power? And feel free to get pretty specific, because we're gonna do a group tap and we're gonna work with those. So Fran and I will give a moment for you all to get some stuff into the chat, and then we're gonna get flowing with it. Okay. All right. Okay. So so feel free at any time. We're going to have, you know, the next 15 minutes or so to tap and clear some blocks here. And feel free at any time to add something into the chat. We won't necessarily get to all of it. So actually, just to take a moment to start, just connect in with your own being. And just ask for your being to show you your biggest blocks to stepping into your power. And this is something you don't have to type into the chat or share with anyone. And it could be a felt sense in your body, or a thought in your mind, or an image. And then just acknowledge that. Notice the intensity of the block on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being the most intense you've ever felt, 1 being barely anything. And then you're going to let that be in the space. And it's what we call in the EFT world borrowing benefits. So whatever your block is going to receive the benefits of what we're working on. And so now we're going to move to use your words. And so we'll begin by tapping on the sides of our hands. And everyone's on mute except for Fran. So when Fran echoes me, you can echo out loud with our words or a variation of your own. Even though I have this fear that I'll be found out.
Even though I have this fear that I'll be found out.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I have this big fear that I'll be found out.
Even though I have this big fear that I'll be found out.
I'm okay just the way I am.
I'm okay just the way I am.
Even though I have this fear that I'll be found out.
Even though I have this fear that I'll be found out.
I love and accept all parts of me.
I love and accept all parts of me.
Coming up to the eyebrows. I'm afraid that I'll be found out.
I'm afraid that I'll be found out.
Side of the eyes. I'm really afraid that I'll be found out.
I'm really afraid that I'll be found out.
Under the eyes. I'm afraid I'll be found out.
I'm afraid I'll be found out.
And coming under the nose, we'll move into another theme. I have pain, emotional and physical, when I think of being in my power.
I have pain, emotional and physical, when I think of being in my power.
There's this pain in my body, my mind, and emotions when I think of being in my power.
There's this pain in my body and mind and emotions when I think of being in my power.
Collarbones, this pain when I think of being in my power.
This pain when I think of being in my power.
There's pain for me here when I think of being in my power.
There's pain for me here when I think of being in my power.
And then coming back to the side of the hand. Even though there's a part of me that feels I'm stupid.
Even though there's a part of me that feels I'm stupid.
I love and accept all parts of me.
I love and accept all parts of me.
Even though I'm afraid that I'm stupid,
Even though I'm afraid that I'm stupid.
I love myself anyway.
I love myself anyway.
Even though part of me thinks I'm stupid,
Even though part of me thinks that I'm stupid.
I fully love and accept myself.
I fully love and accept myself.
And just to say for anyone new to EFT, when we tap on these so-called like negative statements and beliefs, it's clearing them. So I just wanted to say that. So coming up to the eyebrows, I've been told that I'm stupid.
I've been told that I'm stupid.
Side of the eyes, I've been told that I'm stupid.
I've been told that I'm stupid.
Under the eyes, I've been told that I'm stupid.
I've been told that I'm stupid.
Coming under the nose, I'm afraid of being rejected.
I'm afraid of being rejected.
Coming to the chin, I am afraid of being rejected.
I'm afraid of being rejected.
Collarbones, this fear of being rejected.
This fear of being rejected.
Coming under the arms, fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection.
And just because sometimes it's helpful to see just some finger twinkles if you have ever had a fear of being rejected, just so we can see. Because sometimes it's so helpful to see that these fears that we have, they're shared by others. So thank you. Coming back to tapping, coming in the tops of our heads. There's a lack of vitality in my system.
There's a lack of vitality in my system.
Eyebrows, and it prevents me from being fully empowered.
And it prevents me from being fully empowered.
Side of the eyes, there's a lack of vitality in my system.
There's a lack of vitality in my system.
Under the eyes, it prevents me from being fully empowered.
It prevents me from being fully empowered.
Under the nose, I need to feel safe.
I need to feel safe.
Chin, I need to feel safe.
I need to feel safe.
Collarbones, and sometimes I'm afraid.
Sometimes I'm afraid.
Sometimes I'm afraid.
Sometimes I'm afraid.
Under the arms, I need to feel safe.
I need to feel safe.
Top of the head, I need to feel safe.
I need to feel safe.
Side of the hand, even though I feel ashamed about my lack of accomplishments in my life,
Even though I feel ashamed about my lack of accomplishments in my life,
I love and accept myself anyway.
I love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I feel ashamed about lack of accomplishment in my life,
Even though I feel ashamed about lack of accomplishment in my life,
I love and accept all parts of me.
I love and accept all parts of me.
Eyebrows, I'm ashamed of not having accomplished much.
I'm ashamed of not having accomplished much.
Side of the eyes, I think I should have accomplished much more.
I think I should have accomplished much more.
Under the eyes, I'm ashamed of not having accomplished more.
I'm ashamed of not having accomplished more.
Under the nose, I feel shy around other people.
I feel shy around other people.
Chin, I feel less than everyone else.
I feel less than everybody else.
Collarbones, I feel like I'm not good enough.
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 Under the arms, I feel shy around other people.
I feel shy around other people.
Top of the head, I'm afraid of healing.
I'm afraid of healing.
Eyebrows, I'm afraid of healing.
I'm afraid of healing.
Side of the eyes, afraid of healing.
Afraid of healing.
Under the eyes, there's inertia stopping me from tapping into my power.
There's inertia stopping me from tapping into my power.
Under the nose, I can feel the inertia in my system.
I can feel the inertia in my system.
Chin, inertia brought on by trauma.
Inertia brought on by trauma.
Stopping me tapping into my power.
Stopping me tapping into my power.
Under the arms, I've lost my confidence.
I've lost my confidence.
Top of the head, I used to be confident.
I used to be confident.
Eyebrows, I've lost that confidence.
I've lost that confidence.
Side of the eyes, I've lost my confidence.
I've lost my confidence.
Under the eyes, I'm experiencing indecision and procrastination.
I'm experiencing indecision and procrastination.
Indecision and procrastination.
Indecision and procrastination.
Coming to the chin. I'm afraid of feeling through to all my emotions.
I'm afraid of feeling through to all my emotions.
Collarbones. I'm afraid of feeling through to all my emotions.
I'm afraid of feeling through to all of my emotions.
Under the arms, I'm afraid of my emotions.
I'm afraid of my emotions.
Top of the head, I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure.
I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure.
Side of the hand, even though I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure,
Even though I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure,
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Even though I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure,
Even though I feel unworthy, unloved, and insecure,
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Eyebrows not good enough.
Not good enough.
Side of the eyes not healed enough.
Not healed enough.
Under the eyes not good enough.
Not good enough.
Under the nose not healed enough.
Not healed enough.
Chin, unable to trust my body or my mind's strength.
Unable to trust my body's or my mind's strength.
Collarbones, feeling I won't be good enough or health can't sustain my healing.
Feeling I won't be good enough or can't sustain my healing.
Afraid my strength and energy can't be sustained.
Afraid my strength and energy can't be sustained.
Under the arms, afraid my strength and energy can't be sustained.
Afraid my strength and energy can't be sustained.
In the inside of the wrist. Power feels unattainable.
Power feels unattainable.
Something for others.
Something for others.
Feels unsafe.
Feels unsafe.
I feel small.
I feel small.
Side of the hand. Even though power feels unattainable.
Even though power feels unattainable.
And something for others.
And something for others.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And I'm open to exploring my power.
And I'm open to exploring my power.
And I'm open to discovering who I am.
And I'm open to discovering who I am.
And trusting in myself.
And trusting in myself.
I'm open to discovering who I am.
I'm open to discovering who I am.
And trusting in myself.
And trusting in myself.
Okay, deep cleansing breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then offer yourself a moment to sit quietly and feel the echo of where we've just been. And offer yourself a moment to let all of this wash through. And then connect back in at the very beginning. There was one or maybe two blocks to your power that came up for you in an image or a felt sense or a thought. Just check back in with that and notice its intensity. Notice if it's changed in any way. And then just take a moment to deeply acknowledge yourself for your vulnerability in doing this work, and to not acknowledge each other, because everything that poured through the chats is really powerful places and really powerful blocks. So thank you all for showing up in that. And we want to take a sip of water, wiggle your fingers and toes as we transition into the final leg of our time here today. So I'm going to pass it over to Fran to talk a bit about our 9-month journey, and then we're going to close the ceremony together after that. Fran.
Yeah, so Joanna, if you can pop the link in to the chat so anyone who wants to can have a look at it right away. But yeah, mainly to say that we will be weaving in the themes of purpose, power and pleasure over a 9-month journey, including towards the end focusing on supporting women to step more into leadership. And there will be, as we go on the journey, each month there will be coaching on specific themes around all of this, and education and learning and practices, and also the opportunity for deep one-to-one processes within a group as well, and to learn from each other's journeys and processes. It's incredible what can happen in community when one is deeply vulnerable, and to step into your own vulnerability in your own process, but also to witness other women's processes as well. And there is also the capacity to become a Women's Circle facilitator, certified by us, so to support you if you want to step into leading women's circles yourselves in your community, perhaps online too, perhaps to make that a part of a career or just a part of a sort of your purpose, and that's just an optional extra as well. So I won't talk loads about it, just keep it quite simple for now. You can look at the web link to read more about it. There's lots of questions on like FAQs at the bottom as well if you've got any questions. See if it's addressed there. If not, you can email us and we can chat to you as well, one-to-one, 10-minute chats. And also at the end of today's call, if anyone wants to ask any questions as well, we'll stay extra time for that as well. So I'm just going to do a little reading, which is kind of in line with our theme of today, and it's a very commonly read one, but I think it's quite apt for today. So I'm going to read it by Marianne Williamson. So I just want you to take a breath and connect to your body as we do this before handing over to Moon for the closing ceremony. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We are born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And that's Marianne Williamson from A Return to Love. So hand over to you, Moon.
Thanks, Fran. I just really want to honor and acknowledge all of you and thank you for coming today before we close the ceremony. And if anyone feels like typing one word in the chat to say just how you're feeling now and what's moving through you now, we'd love to see that. And I just want to say, yeah, Fran and I have been incubating this 9-month program for about the last year. And we're just really passionate about supporting women to step fully into their power of who they are, who you are in your lives, and the unique beauty, medicine, and grace that moves through each of you. And so I just wanted to say that. And I really wanted to thank you for showing up today and drinking in the fullness of who you are and showing up with your vulnerability, because that's powerful. Okay, so coming back fully into yourself. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Dropping into your pelvis and your legs and your feet. Rooting into yourself and into the earth beneath you. And so everyone's on mute except for me. So I want to invite you. I'm going to offer my own words of gratitude into this container, and I want to invite you to do the same as we appreciate and bless the energies that came to support our work today. Creator, thank you for this opportunity for us to gather in sacred circle and ceremony today. Bless each and every woman here now live and those who will join us on the recording, that they may feel nurtured, blessing and empowerment in their being, and that they may shed some more of their baggage and their pain and their wounds that prevent them from being fully present with who they are and the beauty and the magic of that, and the light and the dark. Bless each woman to know that she shines in her radiance and in her lost places, in her brokenness and her wholeness. We honor the land where each of us lives around the globe, and we offer our blessings and gratitude to the earth beneath our feet, to the sky above us, to the love that is within and all around, to the animals and the trees and the birds and the fish and the butterflies and the flowers that we share our lives with, to the people that we share our lives with. We offer our gratitude to our healed and ascended ancestors, the ascended spiritual masters, those of highest light, greatest love, and deepest capacity, for coming to this space for our healing today. We release you and open the circle, and we offer up our blessings that all women of the world may know their true power, that the true power of women may rise, and may we see that reflected in the eyes and the actions and the hearts and the minds of all we come into contact with. Blessings to each and every one of you as you travel forward into the rest of your day and the rest of your night. And taking a moment now that the ceremony is open to stand together, shoulder to shoulder. And for this, I invite you to open your eyes so that you can really see each other. So here we are on the screen, and yet here we are in the energy sphere, standing shoulder to shoulder around the earth. And let's take each other's hands. And let's really feel the power and the wisdom and the strength and the vulnerability and the tenderness and the broken open places that flows through each and every one of us. And let's acknowledge ourselves and each other in our greatness and in our wounds, in our mundane little niggly places, and in our amazing exalted places, and everything in between. Let's acknowledge all the places that each of us and ourselves want to grow into, and acknowledge all the places that we are coming from. And let's imagine, visualize, and feel that we are squeezing each other's hands. You know, just an acknowledgement and a power of like, I'm here, sister, standing by your side. And may you have everything you need to be fully who you are and to know that you are enough, just as you are in this moment. And then as we squeeze each other's hands, we're going to do what my teacher, Nana Wilma, my elder grandmother in Guatemala, has us do in ceremony. So we take our hands that are squeezed together, and then we let go of each other's hands, and we bring them to our hearts. So we just pour the love that we've just shared, given, and received back into ourselves. One more breath together, in through the nose and gently out through the mouth. Thank you. Thank you for coming, and thank you for being you. It's been so good to be together. And so we're saying goodbye to this circle, and we're here to answer any questions you may have about the program. And we will have another time. We're gonna have, I don't know the date in my mind. Do you know the date of our next free gathering, Chris?
It's the 12th of April and focused around purpose and pleasure.
And you'll receive the sign up link to that in the email with the recording from today. And so we just wanted to offer time if there are any questions about the program, because we know 9 months is a very big commitment. So feel free to melt away. This is kind of the completion of the hour of retreat time. And some of you have been kind of reading and thinking about the program for a while. And for others of you, today is kind of the first day. So there's a lot of information because it's a 9-month journey. But we just wanted to leave a space for anyone who has a question, and you can feel free to, oh, actually, I think we have to change the settings so you can just unmute yourself and ask a question that you have. So I think you should be able to unmute now if anyone has a question.
I'll stop the recording, and thank you so much to anyone who's leaving as well, and it'd be lovely to have anyone who wants to stay.